Hey, Conan and Disco. This is from Blood Sugar Baby, and the subject is RVD
Great
defending Vince McMahon. Hey, Conan and Disco. A few nights ago, RVD got into a bit of a Twitter battle with some fans who were blaming Vince McMahon for some wrestlers' poor health. I know that my opinion means nothing because I'm a big fat mark myself, but I have to say that blaming Vince is just stupid. Take Perry Saturn, for example. He's awesome, but the guy had years of unprotected, brutal chair shots in ECW, then a long run of drug addiction to really strong stuff. How's that Vince's fault? Here's the article that highlights RVD's debate with the fans. I would love to hear Konnan and Disco's take on this. How can you, bro? Everything you do in the wrestling ring is a personal choice you make. That's why I say, guys, like you need to work safer. So you can be like, when you're 53 years old, you can be like me, be healthy and walk and exercise and be in good shape. I didn't take unnecessary. I was never. This is the thing that people like. A guy will go out there and they'll do a match and they'll kill each other. And the guy will get hurt, and people say, "Oh, that's Vince McMahon." Rides these guys. No, those guys decided to do that in the ring. Every injury is a personal choice, with the exception of Sid's broken leg on the pay-per-view, where he specifically told them he didn't want to do it, and they made him do it, and he sued the company for it. He made money. So it's like that when there's a situation like that where they tell you to do something, you say, "I don't want to do it," to do it anyway, and you get hurt. You're gonna make a fortune, But other than you can't blame them for. Doing the stuff that you do voluntarily out there. That's ridiculous. Go ahead, Konnan.
I think some people's beef is that, you're kind of pressured to use steroids to get a push, which they definitely were at fault for. But, it isn't like he wasn't taking steroids himself, and it wasn't. But the only thing that I absolve him of any blame, but we also know that in WCW and WWE, and we both saw it, there were a lot of wrestlers that were in no condition to be in the dressing room. They should have been sent home, and they weren't. But that's just how times were back then. I'm sure in football there were a lot of guys that should have been sent home, and they weren't. But the main thing that I had a problem with, I always felt, and I do mean this, that there were a lot of wrestlers that if after they retired they would at least had a job with WWE, they wouldn't have kept up with their pill addiction and, being broke. And a lot of them, I think they should have taken care of a lot of the boys when they retired.